Hi, I'm Rosemarie Tolbert. I'm the CEO owner of Rosie's Hospitality Group, which is one of the largest Liberian-owned food service providers in Liberia. I returned home in November 2003. I left the USA in August, actually, the earlier part of 2003. I initially moved to Ghana, and then slowly, when things seemed as if they were changing in Liberia, I was working in the food service industry, actually. I worked with several of your big hotels, high-end hotels, Sheraton hotels. I worked with country clubs. I did everything from washing dishes to line cook, prep cook, front of the house, reservations, guest services, catering manager, hotel management. So I've done pretty much everything you can do within the hospitality industry. I think for me, I was a little bit burnt out with what I was doing. I was looking for something a little bit more challenging. I was stuck in doing the same thing over and over and over again. I wanted to broaden my horizons, but at the same time, I had personal goals. I wanted something, whatever it was I was doing, I wanted to mean something to me. And the best place to do that at the time when I came, actually, because initially it wasn't even Liberia. Initially it was, I visited Accra a few times. I saw that what I knew and what I was doing in the States and what I was learning in the States, we were at a much higher level in the US than we were in Africa. And so initially, I think what pulled me to Africa was the fact that I could bring what I was learning there, I could bring it into Africa and train people. And that way I would be sharing a lot of what I already knew. And then when things seemed to change, when the tides changed a little bit and Liberia seemed as if it was going down a more peaceful route, is when I decided, well, if I'm going to do this in Africa, I might as well do it in my own country. And that's how I ended up in Liberia. My advice to Liberians who are ready to move back is to keep an open mind. My experience has been that while I've been in the States, I was so set in my ways, and I had expectations of how I saw things too. I had expectations of how things should run on a day-to-day basis. I had expectations of how people would treat me. I had expectations of work ethics. And in coming back home, I realized that that was not the case. All your expectations, you really have to check in at the airport, so to speak. And once you get down on the ground, as we call it, you look at Liberia, you look at your situation, and then you start making strides towards whatever it is your goals are. The greatest lesson I've learned since I've been here is to have extreme patience, is to keep the hope that you have when you're thinking about coming in and you're looking at Liberia and you're looking at all of the opportunities that may be here. You have that hope. You have to hold on to it, because there are a lot of things that could sway you or take you off focus. So you have to maintain your hope, and you have to have perseverance. From 2003 until now, I still have a few people that have been with me from the beginning. And there's one person in particular who stands out above the rest. She has never left Liberia. She has never, I took her once into Accra. But if you were to stand her next to someone in the US working in the industry, or perhaps in culinary school right now, she would actually give them a run for their money. We have had a lot of ups, we've had a lot of downs, we've had challenges, we've had great times. It's going to take a lot of patience, like I said. It's going to take a lot of stepping back, and like I said, leaving those expectations at the door. You're going to have to look at, in training here in Liberia, you're going to have to look at the situation, you're going to have to look at who you're dealing with, and you're going to have to come up with a plan of how you're going to. I could take all my textbooks and I could train in the States. If I took those textbooks and said I'm using that same method to train here, it wouldn't work. not 100%. You may have a 30% success rate. But in order to have the 80%, 90% success rate that you would have to look at Liberia, you would have to look at what Liberia is coming out of. And then you would have to look at, where do I want to go? What do I want my staff to know? What do I want for them to carry with them? And then you're going to have to say, okay, how do I get my staff from point A to point B? And how do I apply what I know? And how do I apply what they know? And then try to merge the two. But if we come here using all of our U.S. ways, U.S. expectations, U.S. standards, you're going to be met with disappointment. Not all the time, but clients range anywhere from government to your expatriates to the U.S. Embassy, UNMIL, World Bank,